Hope you had a great weekend, West Michigan. Good Monday morning. I'm Emily Scarlett.
Yeah, that weekend flew by, didn't it?
Too quickly.
I know. Good morning, everybody. I'm Tanner Holbrook. Thanks for waking up with us and watching on 13 Plus. Let's get right over to Chief Sam because this is a live look behind us at downtown GR. It looks a little hazy out there.
Has the moon looking really cool, too.
We've got that combo of fog and then what will be smog as smoke kind of works its way back in again today. Yeah, we'll have smoke in the forecast today and Wednesday. Those are the 2 days this week that I'm flagging it. As of right now, though, to 13 on your side. Here's a look at your 24-hour forecast. The first half of the day, I would say at least up until 3 p.m. will be underneath mainly dry conditions, increasing cloud coverage throughout the late afternoon hours, leading up to our chances for showers and thunderstorms, which is relatively concentrated in terms of its window. 3 p.m. along the Lakeshore's edge, about 4 or 5 o'clock for us here in Grand Rapids until about 7 o'clock this evening, and then it will be cleared on out of here. If you're still going to try to get out to the Lakeshore before that, well, our beach and boating forecast looks good, at least for the first half of the day. No beach hazard statements in effect. We've got 1 to 3 foot waves expected. Just be cautious. Anytime we have those thunderstorms rolling in off the lakeshore, if you hear thunder, see lightning, you got to make sure that you get someplace safe. Water temperatures still on the cooler side, sitting in the low to mid 50s, but we are starting to gain some improvements. A couple readings, Hoffmaster State Park, one of them, reading in at 61 degrees. This rainfall, we've got about a 40% chance for a pop in the forecast, but leading ahead of the cold front itself, right? So we can draw the low. There's the cold front. You can see the change in the wind direction right there. Ahead of it, we could see a slight plume of wildfire smoke push into our region. So while yes, we should have partly cloudy to mostly sunny conditions for the first half of the day today, some of that might be hindered by waves of that wildfire smoke, similar in nature to what we experienced this weekend when we just had little pockets of it rolling through. Hour by hour forecast here. This is 4 p.m. notice. Not a ton of not a ton of strength to it, but the further inland that these storms get, I do expect them to gain a little bit of steam. So if you're east of US 131, maybe a slightly stronger thunderstorm, but I'm still not anticipating any severe weather. This is a racer of a system. It moves out of here by 7 p.m. and then we are back underneath dry conditions for both Tuesday and Wednesday. We do have additional pops in the forecast, though, returning Thursday through Saturday, as well as some smoky conditions expected to kind of work its way and weave its way throughout the first half of our day. But Holland, you're looking good this morning. 58 degrees currently underneath mainly clear skies. What's going to happen today is we've got a cold front and its associated low pressure system that's tracking towards us. Arrives to the Lakeshore's edge right around 3 o'clock today, brings us occasional chances for showers and thunderstorms as we head from 3 p.m. until about 7 o'clock tonight. Ahead of it, we could see a plume of wildfire smoke that pushes into our area briefly. 56 degrees in Grand Rapids, 46 in Baldwin, and 58 right now for Holland. As we head throughout the day today, we will see those temperatures. Quality is still good this morning. What forecast models are showing is that we could see an increased plume just out ahead of the cold front itself. But I will say I still only expect that to take us into the unhealthy for sensitive populations area and not completely into the unhealthy category. These move out as soon as our thunderstorms cross Lake Michigan, and then we do start to see clearer conditions sink into place all throughout your Tuesday. A secondary plume of wildfire smoke will be possible. As for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's going to be our next round of thunderstorm activity. This is going to be multiple days worth of scattered storms throughout the day, and we will watch for severe weather as our humidity levels will be climbing and our temperatures will kind of rebound into that upper 70 to low 80 category. Right now in Muskegon, combination of some foggy conditions as well as some wildfire haze that I do expect to build into our forecast late morning through mid-afternoon. 54 degrees currently right now. We've got a low pressure system itself to the north of us. Along this cold front, we are going to see a couple occasional thunderstorms as we head from 3 p.m. continuing on until I would say 7 o'clock tonight, back underneath dry conditions through Wednesday after that. 50 degrees in Big Rapids, 54 in Muskegon, 56 or 58 right now in Kalamazoo. Hour by hour temperature. Come back to 13 on your side. A live look at the Lakeshore this morning. A little chop on the water, but not much at all. We're sitting at around 1 to 2 foot waves right now, and as we progress throughout the day today, our wind profile, even with that cold front tracking through, should remain fairly subtle. So that's going to keep our beach and boating forecast quiet, especially for the first half of the day. Thunderstorm activity is expected after 3 p.m. though, so if you're headed to the beach this morning, be mindful of that. 1 to 3 foot waves pretty much from north to south. Water temperature wise, we're seeing little notes of improvement in our water temperature in comparison to how we started off the season. Hoffmaster State Park has had a consistent reading in the upper 50s to low 60s for the last several days, but otherwise pretty much everyone else in the low to mid 50 category. Coming up in my full forecast, tracking those thunderstorms and when you can expect them. The center has placed us underneath a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather. 1 is the lowest level concern, and this is mainly inland away from our lakeshore's edge. What could happen here is as these storms continue to track across land, they could gain just a little bit of oomph, a little bit of strength to them, but overall, I'm not foreseeing much in the way of a severe weather risk, at least for us here in West Michigan. We could start off with some scattered thunder showers right around 3 to 4 p.m. They become a little bit stronger the further inland that they travel. I would say if you're east of US 131, those are the areas that could potentially see a stronger thunderstorm, but still weak in comparison to some of the storms we've already received this season. Clearer conditions settle into place behind that cold front, and we will be back to dry skies for both Tuesday and Wednesday. Just a little bit cooler temperatures and a touch of a breeze in the wake of the system itself. Mid-expected this afternoon and into the evening hours. A really soft, subtle sunrise out of downtown Holland. We still have the presence of some foggy conditions this morning. It's pretty elevated though, so shouldn't slow you down on the roadways. And we will likely see a brief plume of smoke that pushes through ahead of this cold front. Along the cold front itself, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., chances for scattered thunderstorms. Temperature-wise, we're at 56 in Grand Rapids, 50 in Big Rapids, and 53 in Muskegon. As we head throughout the weather, that is the lowest level concern, and I am not all that sold on our chances for severe storms today. If you are east of US 131, closer to Ionia, Jackson, Lansing, that's where I start to see a little bit of the ingredients we would need present in the atmosphere. But other than that, these actually look to arrive as rainfall along the lakeshore's edge and then gaining a little bit of that umph, a little bit of that steam the further inland that they travel. We will continue on though with thunderstorm chances until about 7 p.m. tonight. Behind the cold front itself, clear conditions settle into place. That will last for both your Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday does look to feature another layer of wildfire smoke moving in. It's possible this afternoon it won't be super widespread, but we do have the chance for rainfall returning once again. And we're noticing again that elevated wildfire smoke in the sky, giving us that amplified sunrise this morning. Haziness all out ahead of our next low pressure system that moves through. As this low tracks in though, it's going to bring those scattered thunderstorms 3 p.m. along the lakeshore's edge, about 5 o'clock here in Grand Rapids, clearing out of West Michigan by 7 p.m. tonight. Temperature-wise today, 13 on your side. We've got another hazy sunrise across the region as a plume of wildfire smoke returns into our forecast. Out ahead of our next chances for thunderstorms, which arrives to the lakeshore's edge right around 3 p.m. In terms of our air quality, though, this is still suspended in the atmosphere, giving us moderate air quality this morning, meaning that, all populations safe to go outside and breathe in the air. I will say maybe a little bit of mixing just as that cold front approaches could occur, and we could see a brief reprieve of air quality. This moves through, though, fairly quickly, and then we are back to normal conditions this evening and headed into your Tuesday. Then tracking into Wednesday, I do see a secondary round of haze that is going to create filtered sunshine throughout the day on Wednesday. Our next system doesn't arrive until Thursday, so that likely will linger, potentially deteriorating our air quality once again on Wednesday morning. Is going to make its way towards us throughout our mid-morning to mid-afternoon hours and then arrive to the lakeshore's edge by 3 to 4 p.m. We continue on with scattered chances for rainfall into the latter half of our forecast, so let's time it out for you. Hour by hour outlook, these initially look to arrive just kind of as run-of-the-mill showers, and then the further inland that they travel, gaining just a little bit of steam to them, bringing us a very small risk for some thunderstorm development from Big Rapids stretching down through Kalamazoo. So east of the US 131 corridor looks to have the highest chances for thunderstorm activity, and you can see by the time we hit 5 p.m. the lakeshore already starting to dry out. This is all just associated with that cold front, so it's going to be relatively short-lived. 7 p.m. a majority of West Michigan back underneath dry and clear conditions. The presence of wildfire haze that we have right now will clear out with that cold front itself. And when it comes to a severe weather risk, the Storm Prediction Center has placed us underneath a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe storms. That is the lowest level concern. And again, I think that would be inland. The closer that you get towards Jackson, Lansing, that's going to be the higher potential for maybe a very weak, isolated severe thunderstorm, maybe some hail embedded within the storm itself. But I am not sold.
Ground probably gets the bigger one in trouble.
Yes, right. I was thinking
Puka.
that. She rules the roost there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know why I love the name Puka. It's fun to say.
It is fun, Puka. Yeah, I like
Good
it.
one.
Hutch and
Creative.
Puka, that would be a great crime-fighting game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like that must be from something. Maybe
Yes.
not.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
there was Starsky and Hutch, which way predates you guys. So Hutch and Puka could be,
The
that
new
could be-
thing,
Yeah.
the new one.
Hutch and
I like
Puka.